Suddenly, there was a great, echoing roar. Booster rushed back to Bleep. "What was that awful roar?" he cried. Bleep looked rather scared.
"It can only be the dragon that lives here,"
he said.
"We may be in danger. We must leave without delay."
But it was already too late. When they came in sight of the flying saucer, an animal with a big scaly body and long neck was looking curiously at it. Booster had never seen a dragon before, and he gazed at it with great interest.
"We're trapped by the dragon,"
cried Bleep. "It looks like a small dinosaur," said Booster, "the kind that lived on Earth millions of years ago." The creature looked up. It gave a roar and started to amble towards them.
"Run for the mountains!"
cried Bleep. Together, the two boys ran up a steep path that led to the high peaks. As Bleep ran, he turned a knob on his front, and there came the bleep, bleep noise Booster had heard before.
"I hope my father will hear the signal and come to our rescue,"
explained Bleep. Higher and higher they climbed. The dragon followed them. At last they reached the top of the mountain. They could hear the roars of the dragon as it climbed on. Bleep pointed to the dark sky. Through the mountain peaks, Booster saw a huge spacecraft sailing towards them, with rows of lighted windows in it.
"That is my father, in space freighter number 9,
explained Bleep.
"I hope he will land in time to save us from the dragon,"
said Booster, anxiously. He glanced down the side of the mountain. The dragon was still making its way up after them. Every now and then it stopped and let out a roar, just as if, Booster thought, it was calling out to them to wait for him. "Do you think your father will be able to pick us up before the dragon reaches us?" Booster asked Bleep anxiously. "Perhaps it would be safer for us to scramble down the side of the mountain and try to escape."
"My father will be here before the dragon,"
replied Bleep.
"He's heard my signals, and he will have seen the dragon."
The spacecraft was very close now. Booster wondered how it could land on the rocky top of the mountain, but it didn't land. It hovered for a minute, and then a big door opened in its side. Through the door shot a long metal arm with a platform on the end. "Why, whatever is it?" cried Booster.
"Jump onto the platform,"
said Bleep urgently. Booster jumped and held on tight. Bleep followed. They were lifted gently up onto the platform through the door of the spaceship. "Welcome aboard, Space Freighter number 9, boomed a deep voice. It was Bleep's father, the captain of the spaceship. "Thank you very much for saving us from the dragon, sir," said Booster. "I thought you might not get to us in time." Suddenly, Bleep called out, "Look at the dragon!" Booster and the captain rushed to a porthole. The monster was sitting below them on the mountain top, looking very upset, with tears rolling from its eyes. "I do believe he's not a bit fierce after all," said Booster. "I really think he's just lonely. Could it be he's crying because he wants to come with us?" Bleep looked at his father.
"Please, father, can we take him to our planet and let him make his home with us?"
The captain smiled kindly and called down to the monster. "Would you like to come aboard?" The monster cheered up at once. It gave a roar of delight and thumped its long tail on the rocks. When the platform was lowered, it climbed happily onto it and was carried up into the spaceship. It turned out to be a very gentle creature and tried to lick everyone. Then Booster had a very happy surprise. "Why, there's my rocket!" he cried. It was indeed Booster's own rocket. "We rescued it from space and put enough fuel in it to get you back to Earth," explained the captain. "Now it is in full working order again, so I think we ought to see about getting you home." "I do wish I could look over your spaceship first," said Booster.
"So you shall," cried
Bleep.
"Come along."
So Booster was shown all over the big spaceship. He was sorry when Bleep's father told him it was time for him to leave for Earth. So was Bleep. The captain set a course for Earth. Bleep and Booster, with the friendly space monster, stood by a big porthole and watched the moon come into view. The Earth appeared and grew bigger every minute.
"We must say goodbye now,"
said Bleep.
"But someday I shall visit you, and we will take a long voyage together among the planets."
Booster climbed into his rocket, which was ready for launching. He waved goodbye and the rocket came to life and started its journey to Earth. It was night when Booster touched down in his own back garden. No one saw him land. He told his friends next day about his adventures. They did not believe him, but Booster knew they'd happened, and so do you, don't you?